Kent currently lacks any female Labour MPs. A fact Teresa Murray is hoping to change at the next general election. She's been selected to stand for Rochester and Strood, represented for the last 10 years by Bob Marshall-Andrews, who will retire on a tiny majority of just 213. But a lifelong commitment to politics means it's a challenge she relishes.
I've always been in politics. When I was younger, I was a party activist and interested in setting things up in the community. When my children grew up, I wanted to get elected office as a councillor because I felt I had something to offer with representative work. And in the last few years, I've thought seriously about the fact that I would enjoy being part of the policy making at government level. And I live here, and I think that's important. I've got good local knowledge. I'm also a working person and the main income earner in my family, so I need to maintain my job at the local college as a manager there. And obviously, if I do well, then I'll be going to Parliament. And if not, then my job and my career are still there and I value them.
Bob Marshall-Andrews has been MP here for the last 10 years. How difficult do you think it's going to be to fill his shoes?
I'm very honoured to be following on with Bob. And I'm very proud of all of the things that he's achieved, and I feel part of those achievements. Yes, Bob is a colourful character. I'm my own person. I know him very well, and he's helped me a lot. I've learned a lot from him. So I think that people will miss Bob, and I will too, but I'm hoping that the strength of our party policies and the things we want to achieve for Rochester and Strood will carry me on through.
How hopeful are you of winning this ultra-marginal seat? Labour's majority is only 213.
I'm not afraid of the task. I know that it's going to be hard because it always is when you've been in government for a long time. But I'm optimistic both about winning and about my politics. I'm proud of my politics. And I think that Labour has got something to offer. I think we're about the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Last week was a terrible couple of nights for us, and I was particularly disappointed to lose Ken Livingstone because I think he'd done very well for London. We're close to London here, our links to London are important, and I was very sad to see him go. When we get things wrong, and I think that the abolition of the 10p tax and the way that people suffered has disturbed left-leaning middle-class people who support Labour values, of which of course I'm one. What I'm really pleased about is the fact that the Labour Party is strong enough to stand up to our leader and to say we're not happy with this and to negotiate a change, and that has already happened, and I think people will recognise that. We do have to ride things out, admit that we're having a tough time and work through it. And of course for people like me who have supported Labour all my adult life, we've seen tough times before. They don't alarm me. I understand what happens. And I understand that you have to work with people to get them to believe that you've got their best interests at heart.
It's an immensely demanding job, long hours, lots of pressure. How do your family feel about you standing to become MP for Rochester and Strood?
I'm very lucky. My family are very supportive. I've got a supportive partner and my children are grown up. They're in their very late 20s and my daughter will be 30 soon, and as I've just said, I'm proud to be a grandmother and she's got a family of her own. They've always lived alongside my politics, become involved in it, talked about it, criticised it, told me what they think I should be doing. But when they were little, it was my choice to stay around with them. I didn't seek elected office until I felt that they were grown up. In fact, not until my son went to university, because although I was working, I enjoyed spending time with them. My family is still my favourite company, and long may that continue as far as I'm concerned.
And let's just talk about the shortlist. You came through a woman-only shortlist. Surely if you were the best candidate, you would have come through a mixed shortlist.
I would like to think so. I would say to any woman, if you're good enough and you're passionate enough, then you'll get on and people will choose you. I would like to think that I would have won a mixed selection list, but the Labour Party quite rightly chose that this would be an all-women seat because Labour hasn't got any women MPs in Kent. In fact, indeed, outgoing Anne Widdecombe is the only one from any party at the moment.